Welcome back to another episode of Growth Through Ganja Smoke with me, Miss Pearl. This episode is called Roll Up and it comes from Wiz Khalifa. This is my continued perspective on being a marijuana smoker, weed smoker, whatever you want to call it. But this time, I'm going to specifically touch on buying weed. We're going to just talk specifically on the topic of buying weed. Stop asking me, can you be my weed supplier? No. I don't need any more inconsistent ass street dudes selling me weed. No. Okay, I need somebody that got a schedule. Okay, so I just go to the dispensary and people have their opinion about dispensary weed versus street weed. Dispensary weed, it's been pretty good to me so far. You may not like it, whatever. I also don't have time to deal with what I'm actually paying for, like in regards to ounces, grams, and you inconsistent with the price and the weight. I can look and see that's not an ounce, that's not a gram, that's not 2 grams. I can look at it and see that something ain't right. Street dudes be having like street lives. So I may hit you up and I may not get a reply because your street light done got in the way of my order. I don't have time for that. And then I don't have time for it to be, I gotta meet you around here. And no, I want to be able to just roll up, get my shit, and leave without feeling like, no, I don't have time for that. And then you trying to stay undercover, no. Street dudes they always look like they up to something. I don't want my weed in a sandwich bag. I don't. I found some weed recently in a Walmart parking lot that was in a sandwich bag. That weed was blaring through that bag. And somebody looked like they either just bought it or they just sold it and they dropped it. I don't want to not know what the fuck I'm paying for. I don't want to hear no goofy ass names. There's already enough goofy ass names at the dispensary. Okay, I don't have time. I need to know what I'm getting. Because I don't want to mess around and get all indica. You didn't know this was indica? You didn't even know it was an indica dominant. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I need to know like what it is. And then DC weed. DC blunts be the size of glizzies. Why are these blunts so fat? And then the funnel. I'm good. I just want the weed. So I don't want to deal with not knowing what I don't have, dealing with your street life. I don't even know you, and you probably don't even listen to my show. So no. Catch me at a dispensary near you. I don't have time for that shit. Trying to track somebody down. Meet me at the gas station over about. But no. I just want to roll up, get my shit, and roll out. Okay? So, this was my last experience. Found this place on Google. Look them up. Shit look legit. They got like 4 locations. This is a spot in DC. Place my order. As soon as I place the order, I get a phone call. He like, hey, what's your ETA in regards to getting, from where you at to the shop? So I'm like, I'm 20 minutes away. And he's like, he asked like the same question. The guy said, look, I'm walking out the door right now. I said I'm 20 minutes away. He said he had other deliveries. Okay, understandable. You should have just said that. I get down to the spot. I'm looking at an apartment building across from a dispensary. So I get out and go in the dispensary. So I'm like, is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this? They're like, no. And I'm like, So I go get in the car. He calls me. He says that he's on the way. Okay. I'm sitting in with the hazards on. Little did I know that yes, they were selling me good weed, but this place was not real. So now I'm caught up in street transactions that I wasn't even aware of, because this shit got like an address and the website looks great. The prices were great. Okay, I could get an ounce for $120, and I look at the ounce and I'm like, wow, this is an ounce. But the last time I went, it wasn't an ounce. Then the last time that I went, there was no website. He sent me a menu that was like PDF, Google Excel spreadsheet. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? And I'm like, what are the specials? Because I've been buying from you for like, I don't know, it's a little bit of time. It was a little while. But then I realized, like, that's when I started like calculating. I was like, how much weed do I actually need? If I'm getting this much weed, I probably don't need to buy weed but maybe like 4 times a year, once a season. But then the last ounce that I got, I looked at it and I said, this is not an ounce. I said, this looked like a half an ounce, because I remember the ounce, like the ounce, that pack was fat. Okay, that pack was fat. And then they were giving me 2 pre-rolls, 2 free pre-rolls. So I got the pre-rolls, and then even the pre-rolls, like one was like this big and then the other one was like this. And I'm just looking like, then the last time, I'm sitting out there waiting for the weed. The police, the Blintelman pull up behind me, and I'm just sitting there with the hazards on. So of course, like, my energy shifts a little bit, but then I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck. They gonna go get food, so they gonna be in there for however long. Dude sees them, and then he gotta drive past me now, go down the block. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? I was like, this is my last time buying weed from a street dude. It's too many inconsistencies. Okay? I don't have time for that. And I don't like to spend a bunch of money on weed. So I'll just get the deals at the dispensary. I don't want those. And then I already don't like smoking around. I don't like goofy ass experiences with smoking. Like, weed has already been, demonized by the people that's profiting from it. And they demonize the original people who used it for spiritual reasons and spiritual rituals. So I don't have time for goofy ass transactions. I don't have time to be smoking with goofy ass people. I like to smoke and talk about real shit. I'd rather sit with someone that I'm disagreeing with that I can still learn from than to sit with a fucking group of goofy goobers smoking weed. That's a waste of my weed. So imagine my time being wasted waiting for your goofy ass to come around the corner with my shit in a sandwich bag. No. And then you don't have a name. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So no, you can't be my weed man. Okay? I don't, if I might as well just go ahead to the dispensary with the other people. I don't know. So, no, no. And whomever is out there, you probably had some of the same goofy, silly ass experiences. Maybe you didn't. But no, I can't buy weed from everywhere, everybody, or smoke with everybody. And I know dispensary weed is good because you go to California. I gotta go to Cali next year. If they don't blow us up this year, whatever. I'm thinking Cali and Jamaica next year. Because I'm going to be even finer next year. So I might as well set the plans now and believe that they can happen. And yes, I'm going to get me some jerk chicken and whatever other, just a little piece of the meat. Just put it on the plate. Yeah, I am. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you got something from it. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you'll be back next week. Maybe you won't. This has been Growth Through Ganja Smoke with me, Miss Pearl.